In 2010, police searching the desolate scrub brush along Long Island's Ocean Parkway found something horrifying: numerous sets of human remains. It was the beginning of a massive hunt for a highly active serial killer. Over the years, the scope of the discoveries expanded dramatically. Remains of victims like Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amberlynn Costello were found near Gilgo Beach, but others were scattered far wider, from Fire Island, 20 miles to the west, to the Hamptons, more than 60 miles away. The investigation faced immediate challenges. Leads were fragmented across different jurisdictions, and the massive physical distance between discovery sites made it difficult for any single agency to find a common thread. For the families of those missing women, those 12 years were an agonizing void. They had to watch media attention peak and fade, all while knowing the killer was still out there, living a completely normal life. A geographically scattered dump site is a nightmare for forensics. When bodies are left in remote areas miles apart, physical location alone doesn't give you a suspect. To catch a killer who operates across an entire region, police needed something to tie those isolated locations together. They needed a digital footprint. The breakthrough came in 2022, when a newly formed Gilgo Beach Homicide Investigation Task Force was given a specific mandate: take all the old, fragmented datasets from different departments and finally layer them directly on top of each other. They started with a single fleeting lead from 2010. A witness had reported seeing a pickup truck when one of the victims disappeared. By running massive sweeps through vehicle registration databases, the task force began to narrow the pool. Registration data pointed them toward Rex Heuermann, an architect living in Massapequa Park, just a 25-minute drive from the dump sites. Next, historical cell phone records showed several victims' phones pinged towers right in his neighborhood just before vanishing. By overlapping vehicle databases with historical cell tower pings, the task force turned random geographic points into a tight digital net. They weren't looking at the whole island anymore. They were looking at one specific individual. Armed with that connection, a grand jury authorized over 300 subpoenas. The resulting data revealed three things. Heuermann used disposable burner phones. He tracked the Gilgo Beach investigation, and he researched violent torture material. The task force had their digital profile. Now they needed physical proof. They quickly shifted their operation to Manhattan, setting up a covert surveillance team to tail Heuermann outside his architectural office. They watched as he threw the remnants of his lunch into a sidewalk garbage can. Investigators immediately rushed in, grabbed the cardboard box, and sent the partially eaten pizza crusts straight to the crime lab. Using advanced extraction techniques, the lab matched the DNA from that discarded crust to a single male hair. That exact hair had been found on the burlap used to restrain one of the victims over a decade earlier. That biological match securely fastened the digital tracking and geographic theories directly to the physical crime scenes. They had their killer. Heuermann was arrested in July of 2023. Immediately after, detectives spent 12 days thoroughly tearing through his suburban property. Inside his home, they found a basement vault containing 279 weapons. And on his computer, investigators discovered a chilling blueprint for the killings: checklists with specific reminders to limit noise, clean the bodies, and destroy evidence. Faced with an overwhelming mountain of physical and digital evidence, Heuermann agreed to plead guilty in 2026. Accepting a life sentence means he goes to prison for the rest of his life, sparing everyone the trauma of a drawn-out trial. His plea ends his legal story, but leaves behind a devastating reality for his own family. His ex-wife and daughter now face intense media swarms and public scrutiny for crimes they had no part in. Inside the courtroom, half the seats were reserved for the families of the victims. After 16 years of agonizing uncertainty, they were finally given the answers they'd been waiting for. The resolution of the Gilgo Beach case shows how data aggregation can bridge decades of silence. By layering registration records, tower pings, and DNA, investigators were able to turn a collection of isolated cold cases into a single, undeniable timeline.